Okay, welcome back. So we will be discussing the Parshas Nosei. Actually, in Eretz Yisrael is already Ba'alischa,
Right.
but we are holding Parshas Nosei. And we'll discuss the Pasuk in chapter 4, verse 38. The tally of the clan of Gershon by the families and according to the fathers' houses. Okay? So we're dealing about the counting of the tribe of Levi, but within the tribe of Levi we have Kehaz, Gershon, and Merari, the three sons. And so we're dealing now with the counting of Gershon. The Apostle said, "Ufkudi b'nei Gershon mishpechosim leveis avosim," the tally of the clan of Gershon by the families and according to their fathers' houses. The fact that the Torah places the census of the clan of Gershon at the beginning of a Parsha, Parshas Nosei, highlights the advantage of action over study. Torah study and the concrete performance of God's commandments are superior to one another in different ways. Torah study unites us consciously with God, but only affects our intellect. In contrast, performing the commandments unite us with God only subliminally. But this union pervades the physical body. Recording the command to take the census of the clan of Kehas first. At the end of the preceding Parsha, Parshat Bamidbar, it speaks about the census of the family of Kehas, the clan of Kehas, which is the first brother. So Bamidbar emphasizes the superiority of Torah study. Having the command to take the census of the clan of Gershon introduced Parshas Nosei emphasizes the superiority of performing the commandments. So each one has a superiority over the other. Then there's a pasuk in chapter 5, verse 2, says, "Command the Israelites to banish from the camp all those afflicted with tsaras, suffering a discharge, and defiled through contact with the dead." Three categories of ritually defiled people are mentioned in this verse. We are taught that each category is banished from the camp to a different extent. Those defiled through contact with the dead are banished only from the inner camp, the tabernacle and its courtyard. Those defiled by bodily discharge are banished from the surrounding Levite camp as well. And those afflicted with tsaras are banished even from the outer camp, that of the lay Israelites. So we had the three different types of camps. The holiest one, obviously, the camp where the tabernacle and its courtyard. And that was for someone who became contaminated through touching a dead body, coming in contact with the dead. Second one is someone had a discharge. He's out of the camp of the Levite. And the third one is someone who was afflicted with tsaras, banished even from the outer camp, the camp of Israelites. Allegorically, the camp alludes to our intellectual divine consciousness, which comprises three aspects. The initial insight, chokhmah, wisdom, the development of the insight into a full conceptual structure, which is bina, understanding, and the application of this new understanding of reality to our lives. This is that, this is knowledge. In this context, ritual purity means an optimistic attitude toward life, which does not succumb to the fatalism or pessimism that results from the materialistic outlook promoted by the physical world. Safeguarding our ritual purity ensures that we remain within the camp, that all three aspects of our intellectual work or intellect work toward enhancing our divine consciousness and promoting our continued spiritual growth. So really, ritual purity is there to tell us that we can always start fresh, we can start new, we can start a new beginning. Okay, we go to Geula on page 144. take a census, going back to the census of the sons of Gershon. Gershon means exiled. Ger, Gerus, to be a ger. God said to Abraham, you should know that you will be a ger, will be a convert, you'll be a foreigner in a land that is not yours. God was prophesying the exile going down to Egypt. So Gershon means exile, and the Jewish people were exiled twice after settling in the Holy Land. They were exiled briefly after the destruction of the first Beis Hamikdash, and they were again exiled following the destruction of the second Beis Hamikdash. In the present millennia, long exile. The numerical value of 2 times the name Gershon equals to, the name Gershon first of all equals to 559, twice is 1118, which is the name, which is the same value as Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. So everyone wanted to know what is the numerical value of the Shema. It's 1118. Easy to remember, 3 ones and 1 8. 1118. So this phrase, so twice Gershon equals the same thing. This phrase expresses the state of complete redemption when God's oneness will be revealed everywhere. The 2 exiles were a necessary preparation for the full revelation of God's unity in the era of redemption. This is taken from a book called Chaim V'Sholem, and the Lubavitcher Rebbe also discussed this concept that actually exile is a preparation for Golus. So everything that happens in exile is really another step toward redemption, toward Geula. So the laws, this is from Kol Yaakov, in the laws of restitution for theft, the Torah states, Imen leishgol, if a man has no redeemer, somebody, God forbid, died, and he didn't leave, there's no redeemer, there's no one to take his, no heirs, to give over his inheritance. So referring to a relative who can inherit him. The same words, however, allude to the process necessary for the final redemption. The word ein, or ein, means nothingness, indicating something insignificant. Im ein la'ish, if the man does not have, if we succeed in elevating even the ein, even the low matters, even the insignificant things, we're able to elevate them, elevating them to la'ish, to make them an ish, an important, giving them importance, by after uplifting them to the man, referring to God, who is called Ish Milchama, Hashem is called the man of war. Then Goyal will merit, we will merit the Redeemer. Then we'll bring a Geula. So this is really tell us the recipe for redemption is creating a dwelling place for God. But creating a dwelling place for God is not only dealing with the lofty subject, is actually sometimes getting down and dirty and taking care of also the little things, seemingly insignificant things, and engaging in them and elevating them also to sanctity and to holiness, and that brings the goyal. If you take something from nothingness and you make it leish, so bringing it to Hashem, uplifting it to Hashem, then comes the goyal, the Redeemer. Bruchim Tiyu. Don't have time to do it now, the Yaakov, but hopefully tomorrow we'll do it.